Greetings folks and welcome to another 8/1632-bit. I'm Rob and today we're going to be looking, as you can see, at the Blaze Evercade console. Now, the Evercade launched during last year and it's a rarity amongst the handheld console market in that rather than being some kind of emulation system where you can play all those ROMs that of course you legally own and have got from legitimate sources, this actually uses licensed games on the system which come on interchangeable cartridges, which is nice. Now, the Evercade apparently, according to its creators, can handle everything up to Game Boy Advance and PlayStation 1 power systems, which is interesting. But most of the games that have been released on cartridge so far, such as what you can see on screen here from the Interplay collection, appear to be 8 and 16-bit machines. So we have games from the Atari 2600, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Mega Drive, stuff like that. Now, I have to admit, I asked for this for Christmas from my wife, didn't expect to get it, but here it is. I have an Evercade. And let's just talk about the system a little bit first. Obviously you can see a game running here in the background. The system itself's quite nice. It's got a decently sized LCD screen, the buttons are good, the D-pad feels really good. In fact, I would go as far as saying that the overall build quality of this system is really rather superb. I mean, the system itself sells for $59.99 as a standalone unit with I think one cartridge. Now, when you factor in retailer markup, etc., VAT, the fact that these units are probably being manufactured to a price point of around £20 per unit really does show what can be achieved if you find the right manufacturing partners. It is a really well put together piece of kit. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say that, hey, everything's perfect with it, because it isn't. There's always going to be flaws. But power, price, build quality, it's the sweet spot. Now, as you can see with the games here, it comes with a fairly simple menu system. Switched over to a different cartridge here. With mine, I got the Interplay cartridge, Volume 1, Namco Museum Volume 1, and Atari Volume 1. Now, here I'm looking at the Namco one, which is a mix of SNES and I believe it's Famicom ports of Namco arcade machines, not the actual arcade ROMs. You can see the system menu here top, where you can toggle various settings for games, such as whether you want the screen ratio to stay in 4:3 or to be stretched to fill out the widescreen LCD, which I believe displays at 720p. All this capture that you're seeing here has been taken from the system's mini HDMI out into my capture device. It runs quite smoothly, as you can see. Settings in the game here that you can alter. And I have to say, I'm really enjoying using the Evercade. The games themselves play well, there's no input lag that I can detect. I mean, yes, like I said, something like this I believe with the NES version rather than the arcade original. I think Call of Pac-Man kind of gives it away there that it's not the arcade version. But you know, it's a nice piece of kit, and especially like me, it plays to the collector. You know, there are interchangeable cartridges which come in really nice plastic clamshell cases with full colour instruction manuals. It's a step back in time. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of those little emulation boxes are really nice, the little handheld ones that you can buy on Amazon and eBay or from AliExpress, which give you access to thousands of games from around the world. But this is different, this is legit, and this is something which really works for the collector like me. These are original games, licensed, put on proper interchangeable cartridges, so I can have a nice display on my shelves of games. It's a lovely piece of kit. You know, you have all those little things that you would expect from modern day emulation, such as save states. Now, obviously, there's no options on any of these games, excuse me, for things like scanlines, but you don't really need it. If you're playing it on the screen itself built into the system, It's just about the right size where skylines don't really matter. And if you are outputting it to a TV at 720p, then I'm not really sure what you're doing, but you know, I've only used the HDMI output purely for capturing gameplay footage from the system. It's a great piece of kit, and if you read this month's retro game, which is issue 215, is it? I think it's 215. Can't remember because I've not got my copy to hand. There's an interview with the Evercade people who drop a hint that there may be some kind of home console version of this coming this calendar year, which presumably would output either a much stronger, cleaner 720p signal or a 1080p signal. Now, I've got to say, overall, I'm deeply impressed. I think my wife paid $79.99 for my system. Came with 3 cartridges, that's a lot of games. The only problem I've had is a really weird one where Earthworm Jim on the Interplay cartridge just refuses to run for me, but everything else does, so I don't know what's going on there. But if you're into video games and like me, you're a collector, buy an Evercade. It will scratch all those itches. The ability to play classic games on the go, to have boxes that you can display, manuals. It's perfect for the collector. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief overview of the Blaze Evercade. I've been Rob. This is 81632-bit. If you enjoy the channel, please do hit like and subscribe. If you really enjoyed it, hit the notification bell, and I hope to see you on my next video. This is Rob saying so long for now.